This is teleop mode, and you're about to try to collaborate with someone in your alliance, right? So how would you do it? Go ahead, go.
So after we finish the autonomous and we start the teleop mode, we were going to go to one of the human player stations where they drop the totes. We're planning to pick up a tote and let one fall from the human player, so then we can keep making stacks.
Go back to the part where it's just the tote load-ups, okay?
And we're planning to make little stacks of 2 and put them on, and put as many as we can. And if we find another teammate, if you can stack like a 3rd or 4th tote on top, then we can get more points.
Why
Okay,
why are you focusing on 2 and the other team focusing on just 1?
Because getting 2 little stacks of 2 everywhere can maximize the points and save a lot of time.
And that way you don't have to go running around to the other side to get it and fight over totes. So you're not all over there and it's less messier.
So here's the deal, okay? The deal is you control this variable. You know you're going to get 2 within 5 seconds. So you're guaranteed if you collaborate and Zach, you know what? You can have the human interface and you have 2 out of 3 chances to do that, right? And you can have, and you know what? That will be your responsibility. You get 2 and stack 4 rows, because at that point, it's almost done. That will only work if the other team can stack 3 or 4, on, I mean, the 3rd and the 4th on the other ones.
What happens if none of the other 2 teams in your alliance can stack 3 or 4?
Now, here's the thing. That's exactly why you collaborate, right? Because that's why this would possibly maybe be the first route, right? You have to,
okay.
just like the programming, you have to have different programs, like what he just said there.
Like a flowchart, yeah.
Same thing with this. Now, what I like about this personal strategy that Zach brought up is the time to stack to is fast. Second, you don't have to go looking for it. Third, you can already have, look, we're going to take care of this whole lane, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so it'll maximize the time and eliminate some of the possible variables.
Just a lot of the teams, what they're doing, they're designing it so you can just place it with this, or if you can't, like none of the teams go out and collaborate with you to do this thing, the robot could also just go out and pick up the totes without doing
And how do you know that the other teams are doing that?
We don't know anything. That's why we have to have different
Well,
plans,
I've
right?
been looking at a bunch of videos, and there's a lot going with this strategy.
Okay, so now let's talk about anybody from the programming team. Please interject what you think about, because you might be doing preset programs, not obviously autonomous. You might have a preset where, okay, it's done. He clicks a button and it goes zing, zing, and then he clicks another button and it stows it and goes back. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. What do you guys think about this strategy?
Okay, so let me get it straight. Basically, you're allowed to just throw, because you have several totes behind you.
Yes.
Okay, so you can throw them and get 2 stacked at a
Right
time.
off the
Like
bat.
put
Boom,
them in
boom.
there.
That's it.
Okay,
And then just
perfect.
go place, come back, and do it. And basically,
Okay,
you're just setting the
so-
totes that everyone else can stack.
Hold on, let's talk about the programmers. Go
Yeah.
to design and go, everybody. I don't care if you're in social media or not. I want to know your opinion.
James, what do you think?
Well, in terms of the teleoperated mode, the strategy seems sound, and so far I've only thought about the autonomous code, but in terms of the teleoperated,
You want me to just...
yeah,
Wait, hold on. No, let him do it. All right, go ahead.
This could be done with a single controller, a single operator, this entire portion.
Yeah, you don't need 2 drivers for the robot, you can only use 1. It seems.
What do you think?
Mentor, programming, what do you think?
I hadn't considered this strategy.
Okay.
And honestly, if everybody agrees that that's the direction we should go, then programming will make it happen.
Okay, Mr. Gambrell, your design team, members that are specifically with the inventor, not so much of the build back there directly. What do you guys think?
My only question is, what is the difference between the time it takes to stack 2 and place them, and you have to drive back that drive
Look, there's a timer.
versus if your robot can quickly stack, pick up, stack, pick.
I'm just going to say my opinion. You guys, all of you guys can interject
It's a
because I don't
question.
have the answers, right? My feeling is we are guaranteed to get 2 when we go back here.
Right.
We don't know where the other ones are, so let's suppose 2
There's
robots
2
are
other
there,
robots
and there's
using
1
those.
kicked over here. You know, that might be a problem. So my feeling is I try to, as an engineer, what you want to do is eliminate as many independent variables or obstacles and go, even though you're taking a hit, we know it's there.
Okay,
So-
I have a question. There's two places where people are putting the totes in the chutes, right? Now, let's just say, for argument's sake, what happens if the other two robots kind of want to?
So
We talked about that. Go ahead, Brandon.
So we would then decide to probably be the ones stacking on top of their little smaller stacks. If they were doing something like two, and then maybe we can put a third, or we can go and get the stacks from the landfill zone, and we can move them into the scoring platform.
Okay.
Okay, Skylar, please interject, because you're obviously part of the design and building.
Well, with stacking two totes at a time with our current design, it should work pretty well if we have our wheel intake system.
manage to do two different stacks.
Hold on, let him finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Skylar, please.
Well,
Do you
I think
see
it's-
something that would prevent us from possibly attacking? I'm not saying this is the strategy. We might have like 7 strategies, right?
you know,
This is just one possible.
It may depend on the ability to stack trash bins, because as a robot's going now, trash bins are kind of a side note on a robot. If there's another robot that's kind of more specialized in that specific, this would work very well, because we don't have to make stacks of 4 at all, because the totes individually are just 2 points. Period. If they're on a scoring platform, you don't have to stack them very high.
And now
But
going
if
to
you
the
have someone who can stack bins excellently well, then you can stack them very high, and you multiply your points exponentially.
So you're saying
like
this
that.
strategy depends on whether or not the other two in our alliance have their act together when
every
it comes to this.
strategy depends on that. That's
Same
not
thing in
an issue.
vets.
Yeah, every strategy is going to depend on the others.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I do think, and Christina, but before you do that, this is how it affects the builders. Okay, this is my personal opinion. Okay, our existing design will enable us to do that if we decide to go with it. So it might be something that team doesn't even have to interject with, because we might even do this strategy. The question is, can the design and build accommodate this strategy? That's what we want answered. The second thing is, I'm sorry, and this is the last part of it, because I talked to Brandon and Zach, if we decide to go that, what would that mean for Mr. Caballo? Not much, because these are the two that would build, go back,
The human
interface, and they can do that while the builders and designers are doing their thing. So Caballo, like on Wednesday or Thursday, they will have that set. You guys would have it built. There's no conflict of a builder. So Zach and Brandon would be responsible for that construction.